only reason MAGA doesn't like former Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, is because he's gay. They'll say it's for a lot of other reasons, but the gay part of him is what really gets them going the most. So Trump, when he is sworn in, he appoints a guy named Sean Duffy. And some rather alarming footage has arisen of Sean Duffy, and we would like to show it to you all because it's very important to see.
Of course, on this trip, I had to ask about everyone's favorite topic, sex.
Holy shit.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't really care about this kind of stuff because I'm not some prude or I'm not a pearl clutcher, but evangelical MAGA Republicans really give a shit about this stuff. Like it is, if video like this existed of Pete Buttigieg, it would be career ending. It would end his career because Democrats are held to a standard that's up here, and there is zero standard for MAGA Republicans, no standard whatsoever.
Well, okay, regarding that, I think that everyone in the United States has completely decided that Republicans having no morals, no ethics, no character, being fraudsters, deceitful, sexual predators, that's just hunky-dory. That's fine. Democrats are held to a standard of what a normal politician should adhere to. And I look at this video and it takes me back to the JD Vance cat lady video. The Trump administration is so incompetent. They cannot vet what the people on TikTok can find and post in a matter of days and hours. They had months to vet this guy and get out in front of this video. But they don't, because you know why? Because they know their base doesn't give a shit. Morals are hypocrisy. They transparently do not care.
It wouldn't have mattered if they had this footage prior. He still would have appointed them. Like it wouldn't have mattered. They don't need to vet because there's nothing that they can produce that will be disqualifying when their boss is a convicted felon, an adjudicated rapist, a con man who tried to give a microphone a blowjob, and he still wins the election. So why spend the money on vetting when your craven, depraved base does not give a shit? All right, let's play the next clip. I mean, so here's the thing. If somebody wants to play grab ass and be drunk and all this stuff, I genuinely don't care. But these are very serious positions. Pete Buttigieg, a Rhodes Scholar, a veteran, incredibly competent. And let's just point out that it's under this guy who's doing all this crazy shit, that he allowed Elon Musk to bully the FAA director. And so the minute that these people get in office, planes start crashing, and the buck stops with them. They're responsible for that. You have alcoholic Pete Hegseth, Department of Defense, this dipshit, Secretary of Transportation. And what do we have when they're in charge? 67 people dead, and the buck stops with them. All right, play the next clip.
On masturbation. Did you ever touch yourself?
Oh, God.
You might have.
Hey, masturbation. I don't want to hear it.
Well, she probably does and just won't tell us.
Why does he think that's an appropriate question to anyone? Ever?
But I mean, come on, Pumps. I mean,
I know.
I mean, come on.
The standard is so low.
Right. And here's the thing. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not pro-clutching nor outraged nor even shocked that he would ask anyone that. Drunk people do stupid shit. And to me, it's not, none of this is that big of a deal. Where it becomes a big deal to me is where the people that want to take away women in our state their right to access birth control, their rights to get abortion care, and want to be all up in their sexual business. That's where the hypocrisy of these tapes bug me. That's what bothers me about it. Him asking that girl that, or the appropriate nature of it. People do stupid shit when they're intoxicated. My problem is the hypocrisy that these people exercise daily is celebrated by the MAGA base, because the MAGA base also participates in this style of hypocrisy. And this gives them a permission structure. And, oh, we still get to be Republicans and ask Jesus for forgiveness and do all of our fucked up shit and judge all of the libs and own the libs. That's what bothers me about it. That's the moral duplicity in it is what bothers me. All right, here's the last clip.
Babe, I don't know what she does, but she is hot. And it was hard because we'd sit her at the bar and she'd be holding this light and doing these little things or running through our house or driving us to our interviews, and she was drop dead.
Who knows what goes on behind the green door?
Our attention would be diverted from what we were supposed to be doing to looking right at her going, Bonnie. I called the Batcave and I'm talking to Ted. Let Bonnie come up and demic me, please. And he's like, no, maybe sometime before the show's over, but not now. And that same night he sent Bonnie up to demic me, and it was a beautiful thing.
I'm getting bored.
She touched my chest, she grabbed my microphone out of my pocket. It was hot.
Get it yourself.
I can't find it.
Open the door. This way.
I mean, the thing about this stuff is when you look at people that are in politics, work in the State Department, do people sometimes have stupid shit that they've done in their past? Yes, that's a part of the human experience. But the sheer volume of the people surrounding Trump, they all have this shit.
They all do.
It's not like this outlier situation where somebody did some stupid shit. All of them, and all of this is more for me, I think when their base sees it, it more reinforces a permission structure that, yeah, it's okay to be both. It's okay to be both. And we only hold the libtards to a standard. So it's really pathetic because, again, we're laughing at all of this, but think about our adversaries.
Yeah. No, our adversaries are the United States is a clown car of dipshits. Again, Hillary Clinton didn't go far enough with basket of deplorables. But what strikes me is we've already had 67 people die because of failures of government under Trump. Specifically, Elon Musk got in trouble because his rockets exploded and he got fined and he didn't like it. So he pressured the director of the FAA to resign. They're trying to get air traffic controllers to take leave, and people are dying. And when I play the tape through to the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, now they're wanting to do away with all type of workplace regulations, all type of consumer protections. What more is going to happen in terms of people actually dying? And I don't believe I'm being hyperbolic. I think that people, because of Trump's policies, are going to die. That is going to happen. We've already seen it. It hadn't even been 3 weeks.
There's no question. I mean, there's absolutely no question. And he went from an isolationist to an imperialist overnight. And you have now him wanting to occupy Gaza, Greenland, Canada, Panama. And the fact that the armed forces have a recruiting problem right now doesn't bode well for young men and a potential draft. And it's brutally painful to watch. We went from kind of watching these clips of these MAGA Republicans dying laughing because they were so stupid, during the election. But now it's oh God, they're in power. And the way their base will bend and turn themselves into a pretzel to justify whatever shifting whim Trump has. He's an isolationist now, and so they're all about isolation. Now he's an imperialist. Yeah, we do need to expand America's map. And so they just, whatever he says, they do. And he knows it. And there has got to be a resistance in the Democratic Party. And they're going to have to dig deep into something that they didn't know they were capable of and grow some fucking balls.
Well, one thing, I read this yesterday. Now on Fox News, they're spinning the increase in inflation, particularly eggs and groceries. Well, it's worth paying more for national security. So there you have it.
And it was never about the eggs.
No.
And we said that covering the campaign, it's always been about the racism, and it's the racism stupid. And until the Democrats go further left and take an extreme populist agenda, democracy first populist agenda, as long as they're appeasing, as long as they're playing the game, as long as they're trying to do politics as usual when these motherfuckers are throwing grenades in every institution that the United States has, we will never have an election again. That will come to fruition. All right, stick with us for more uplifting news. We'll see you all later.